At a time when the ruling coalition is yet to reach a consensus on the share of ministerial portfolios, Kathmandu Mayor Balendra Shah has shared grievances of the local levels regarding their challenges in operation because of regular changes in governments. Good evening, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal claims the government will remain in power for the full 5-year term, commits of prioritizing development. Ruling coalition making preparations to introduce its common minimum program by stressing improvement of federal mechanism. Consensus on power share remains elusive. China threatens retaliation if US House Speaker McCarthy meets Taiwan president. Terms the move a provocation. Taiwan says it will not stop engaging with the world. And A Division League club Machindranath signs Bhutan forward Chencho Gelsen to unveil the Bhutan captain on Sunday. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has claimed that the government will remain in power for the full 5-year term. Addressing the National Conference of Judicial Committee being attended by deputy mayors and deputy chairpersons of local levels across the country, which began today, Prime Minister Dahal said that the current coalition government would serve its full term. After grievances from Kathmandu Metropolitan City Mayor Balendra Shah regarding complications for the local levels in their operation with regular changes in the government, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal suggested everyone to remain assured about the government serving its full 5-year term. Saying the government was gradually gaining momentum, Prime Minister Dahal clarified that the focus now would be on development works. Meanwhile, Kathmandu Mayor Shah urged the government to ease procedures for its effort to protect the Bagmati civilization. Shah said that Lipulekh and Limpiadhura could be protected if the existing assets and civilizations could be conserved. The Kathmandu mayor further added that the Judicial Committee had to ensure the presence of government at local levels for the public. He expressed belief that the committee would play an important role in putting an end to the situation where the victims of loan sharks had to walk to the Kathmandu metropolis for 11 days to seek justice. The 10-party coalition government has said it will focus on improving the federal system as it prepares to announce its common minimum program. A high-level commission to restructure administrative mechanism the country is to be established in order to increase the effectiveness of the 3-tier of government. The Common Minimum Program has claimed the new practice would ensure better coexistence, cooperations and coordination among the 3 tiers. It has also prioritized reviewing of national treaties and agreements. Likewise, foreign aids are to be considered as national priority sector in the new Common Minimum Program. The government has also planned to provide adequate resources to security bodies, acknowledging its contribution, and to seek for a national consensus on overall financial and strategic issues. On the unresolved issues in Limpiadhura, Lipulekh and Kalapani, among other bordering regions, the government has said it will take necessary diplomatic initiatives and work to better manage the border region. This includes raising the number of security posts for better monitoring. Likewise, the government plans to introduce new election laws that will ensure voting rights of Nepalese citizens living abroad. The coalition parties are holding discussions to give a final shape to the Common Minimum Program. Supreme Court Justice Sapna Pradhan Malla has emphasized on the need to ensure women's access to justice. Speaking at the Nirvik Nari event organized by Kantipur Publications' monthly magazine Nari, keynote speaker Maske highlighted that there were challenges in ensuring women's access to effective and accountable justice. Maske called for chain of justice for the same. Likewise, speaking at the Women's Health First session, psychotherapist Sajina Dhungana, fertility specialist Dr. Swasti Sharma, Dr. Navraj Kesi and advocate Subeksha Pokhrel all highlighted that removing wrong beliefs in society would help in improving the quality of women's mental health. In the second session, Youth Perspectives, Miss Nepal World 2022, Priyanka Rani Joshi, co-founder of BIC Technology, Prarthana Sakha, Climate Change Campaign from UNICEF South Asia, Shreya Kesi, and Sabitra Bhandari Samba from Women's National Football Team all voiced that youths in any sector should move ahead with confidence. Chief Executive Officer of Kantipur Publications, Maheshwar, emphasized that more women should be given leadership roles. Editor of Nari magazine opined gender equality, although enshrined in the Constitution, had yet to be fully witnessed. Issues of the victims of loan sharks have been raised at the House of Representatives. Members of the House of Representatives have alleged the government of dilly-dallying in addressing the problems of the victims of loan sharks. In today's session of the House of Representatives, members of the House of Representatives have alleged the government of not being serious towards addressing the issues of the victims of loan sharks. Many parliamentarians said that farmers had become victims of loan sharks because of banks. The parliamentarians also alleged the government of remaining indifferent even when the victims of loan sharks of the Madhya province had reached the federal province by walking for 11 days. The meeting of the ruling alliance parties held to seek for a consensus on the cabinet expansion has ended inconclusive today as well. Parties in the meeting held in Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar remained adamant on their claims for ministerial portfolios. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had held separate and joint meetings with top brass leaders to conclude the cabinet expansion. However, Nepali Congress has continued to demand for 8 ministries and Unified Socialist and Janata Samajwadi 3 each. The ruling alliance parties held another round of meeting today itself. However, it also failed to finalize the cabinet expansion. Another meeting to seek consensus on the share of ministerial portfolios is slated for tomorrow. Economist Achyut Wagle has said the lack of capable finance minister is the main reason behind the failure of the country's economy. Speaking at Kantipur Television's weekly talk show, Tough Talk, Wagle said the appointment of individuals lacking basic knowledge of economy had been resulting into economic crisis. In the same platform, President of the Federation of Nepalese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FNCCI, Shekhar Golcha said, politicians that spend hefty amount of money on election campaigns fail to make use of development budget. The edition of Tough Talk with economist Achyut Wagle and FNCCI President Golcha airs at 9 p.m. tonight on Kantipur Television. It's the first day of Chaita Dasai today, a 2-day annual Hindu festival celebrated in the Nepali month of Chaitra across the country. Devotees throng to the temples of Dakshin Kali, Shova Bhagwati, Guheshwari, Naksal Bhagwati, Sankata, among other Durga temples in the capital and across the country. Chaita Dasai is mainly celebrated as a victory of good over evil, as it is believed that Lord Ram had returned to Ayodhya on this day after completing a 14-year exile, during which time he had also killed the demon king Ravan. In the earlier years, Dasai was celebrated twice a year. However, people started falling sick when food was stored for a long time and consumed with the advent of summer in March. It was therefore decided that the main festival of Dasai will be celebrated in autumn, when farmers welcomed a good harvest, while the water level of local streams and brooks were low, which allowed them to travel to their relatives without much discomfort at the time of the festival. Kathmandu's popular festival of the White Machindranath kicks off from today. The White Machindranath festival starts on the same day as the Chaita Dasai every year. The festivals start from the capital's Tindhara Pathshala at Darbar Marg by pulling the chariot of White Machindranath, regarded as the god of rain and prosperity. The chariot is taken through Bhotahiti and reaches Asan at the heart of the capital. According to Chief of Guthi Corporation Kathmandu, Rajendra Dahal, the annual festival of the White Machindranath will be celebrated for 3 days as every year. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
public polls.
Here's the question. What do you term more than two-thirds examinees failing to clear the engineering license examination? Your options are A. Poor quality of education, B. Students lacking seriousness, and C. Confusion caused by the new system. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. China has threatened to retaliate if U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy meets Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen during her planned transit through the United States, saying any such move would be a provocation. Zhu Fenglian, spokesperson of China's Taiwan Affairs Office, told reporters in Beijing that Tsai's transits out of the United States were being used as a pretext for her to meet U.S. officials and lawmakers. China, which claims democratically ruled Taiwan as its own territory, has repeatedly warned U.S. officials not to meet Tsai, viewing it as support for the island's desire to be seen as a separate country. Meanwhile, Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen has said external pressure will not stop Taiwan from engaging with the world as she left for the United States, hitting a defiant note after China threatened retaliation if she met U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. China, which claims democratically ruled Taiwan as its own territory, has repeatedly warned U.S. officials not to meet Tsai, viewing it as support for the island's desire to be seen as a separate country. China staged war games around Taiwan last August when then U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei, and Taiwan's armed forces have said they are keeping watch for any Chinese moves when Tsai is abroad. Tsai is going to Guatemala and Belize, transiting through New York first and Los Angeles on the way back. While official confirmations have yet to be made, she is expected to meet McCarthy while in California. U.S. and South Korea's Marine Corps have conducted their first large-scale amphibious landing exercises in 5 years after the North unveiled what they claimed as a new and smaller nuclear warheads. Amphibious armored vehicles of the two countries, along with other naval ships, aircraft and helicopters, joined the Sangyong exercise off the coast of the eastern city of Pohang, which kicked off on March 20 and will last until April 3rd. The exercises followed the docking of a U.S. carrier strike group led by the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz at South Korea's Busan Naval Base yesterday after joint drills. It was the carrier's first visit in nearly 6 years and coincides with the 70th anniversary of the U.S.-South Korea alliance. Yesterday, North Korea unveiled a new, smaller nuclear warheads and vowed to produce more weapons-grade nuclear material to expand its arsenal. Pyongyang has accused the United States and South Korea of rehearsing an invasion with their military exercises. Russia began exercises with the Yars intercontinental ballistic missile system and several thousand of troops, its defense ministry said today, in what is likely to be seen as another attempt by Moscow to show off its nuclear strength. During the exercises, the Yars mobile systems will conduct maneuvers in 3 Russian regions, the ministry said, without identifying the regions. There are a few confirmed tactical and technical characteristics of the Yars mobile intercontinental ballistic missile system, which reportedly have an operational range of 12,000 kilometers. According to military bloggers, the systems are able to carry multiple independently targetable nuclear warheads and can be mounted on truck carriers or deployed in silos. Since launching an invasion of Ukraine in February last year, Russia has conducted numerous military exercises on its own or with other countries such as China or South Africa. It has also increased military training with Belarus, which borders both Russia and Ukraine, conducting a series of comprehensive drills over the past year. Families in Buriticupu, northeast Brazil, say they are living in fear as heavy rains have worsened the landslides in the area. Residents said they are afraid their houses will be swallowed by the earth. The holes created by the landslides near the community have been reported to reach 70 meters in depth and 500 meters in width. According to a local community leader, the land erosions appeared in 2017 and have been expanding ever since, worsened by the heavy rains in the region. On March 19, 2023, local media reported that 36 people had to be rescued in Burithikupu and Santa Luzia municipalities with the help of helicopters because at least 5 villages were hit by mudslides. Adding traditional colors and textures to Ramadan lanterns, Palestinian designers are incorporating a national touch to one of the main accessories used to decorate homes throughout the holy month. Aiming to highlight Palestinian heritage and identity, designers are integrating embroidery, the kufiye and other national symbols of lanterns. Ahead of Ramadan, Islam's holy month, when the faithful abstain from eating and drinking during daylight hours, Gaza markets are filled with themed decorations, including luminous ornaments like lanterns, stars, and crescents. The lanterns are a symbol of Ramadan for Palestinian families and also an effort to preserve heritage and Palestinian identity. Lanterns are a symbol of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan around the Arab world.
Sports news.
Martyrs Memorial A-Division League club Machindra have signed Bhutan forward Chencho Gelsen. Machindra Vice President Anil Shrestha has informed of signing Chencho for the ongoing season of the domestic top flight tournament. The club is to officially unveil Chencho amidst a press conference on Sunday. 26-year-old Chencho is to play in Nepal's A-Division League for the first time and is currently in Nepal as he was the captain of Bhutan for the ongoing Prime Minister Three Nations Cup. However, Bhutan have already crashed out of the tournament following a 1-1 draw against host Nepal yesterday. It was Bhutan's first ever draw against Nepal. Chencho has already played from around Glass Punjab in India's I-League alongside Nepal captain and custodian Kiran Chemchong. Punjab had won the I-League with major players having left for abroad. Machindra has signed Chencho for a monthly wage of 600,000 rupees. With 5 game weeks of the A-Division League concluded, Machindra are placed 11th in the standings with only 5 points as they have won just a single match, recorded 2 draws and suffered 2 defeats. Nepal's preliminary squad for the ACC Premier Cup has been announced. The Cricket Association of Nepal has announced a 21-member team led by skipper Rohit Paudel. CAN has included under-19 captain Dev Khanal in the senior team as well. Khanal was absent from Nepal squad in the final 4 matches of the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. The under-19 team led by Khanal had defeated the United Arab Emirates and secured Nepal's spot at the under-19 World Cup. Meanwhile, the senior team had won 11 out of the 12 matches to secure their direct spot at the World Cup qualifiers. Head coach Chaita Dasai had then left for India on a vacation and is scheduled to arrive Nepal this Sunday, following which the closed camp of the national team will begin. The ACC Premier Cup begins on the 18th of April in Nepal. The group of host Nepal include Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia and Malaysia, while the other group includes Hong Kong, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Singapore and Bahrain. Matches of the tournament will be held at the Tribhuvan University Cricket Grounds in Kantipur and the Mulpani Ground. Top 2 teams of each group will progress to the semi-final, while the winners of the tournament will secure their berth for the Asia Cup. That's all for the moment. We will now take you over to the live coverage of the program Nirvik Nari.